want you to look at me and tell me what's my name. Who am I? See my face?
Yeah.
Let me take the glasses off. Who am I?
Call you a man with a rock. What? Oh, your other name.
What's your baby's name? Your youngest son.
My baby.
What's your youngest son's name?
Javid.
That's me. You see my face? Am I Javid?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, baby. Good to see you.
Caring for your mom during that time, can you reflect on that and talk about how your perspective on your life was as it was juxtaposed against the fact that her life was ending?
David is presented by Leroy Jackson and Alice Jenkins.
Giving acknowledgement to my mother for giving birth to me.
I'm waiting for my new grandbaby to come into this world.
Okay. And what else?
I think it'll be about 3 weeks before he comes.
Before I can tell you about how Mom died, I have to tell you first about how my mother lived. And before I could tell you how she lived, I have to tell you about how she was born. You see, she came into this world under extremely difficult circumstances.
Along the drafty corridors of Dixon State School, the hours move slowly. Here the forgotten and the fragile wander in the cold glow of the overhead lights. Behind one worn door, far from the bustle, a new life waits on the edge of arrival.
My mother was born at the Dixon State School in Dixon, Illinois. This wasn't an institute of higher learning, nor was it a place for healing or comfort. It was the place where people sent the feeble-minded and the epileptic. It was where folks hid their mentally challenged family members. For lack of a better term, Dixon State School was an insane asylum. It was also where young Black unwed mothers were sent to have their babies. And in those days, if you were unwed and you had a child, that child would receive a badge on their birth certificate that would follow them for their life.
In Dixon, Illinois, at the county hospital, another birth record is typed, signed, and filed. But for the child named Alice Frazier, the paperwork carries more than vital statistics. A single word, stamped in official ink, marks her beginning with a judgment of the age.
Illegitimate. That's the word they used when my mother entered this world. Not as a child, not as a blessing, but as a label, a stamp, a kind of sentence meant to follow her entire life, meant to shrink her, meant to make her small, a label that was meant to hide her amongst the others that were born just like her. You know, for a long time, it did just that. She carried that word like something heavy in her chest, like an anchor around her neck. Sometimes that word gave her sadness because the world gave her something that would cause that. The world gave her something she never asked for, something tied to pain, something tied to silence, a story that she didn't choose. But here's what the world didn't understand about Alice. The same world and the same word that tried to place her in a deficit, she used that as a fire to push her to become better than what she was. See, Mom refused to be reduced to a label. She refused to be counted as a statistic. Mom refused to let her beginning define how she would end. She chose to live, and not only live, but she chose to live bigger than what happened to her mother. She chose to be stronger than what led to her mother's situation. She chose to be greater than her circumstances, greater than the situations that brought her here. She chose to stand and be as strong as her small frame could possibly allow her to be. You see, where the world probably just saw a woman, I saw a protector. I saw an example. I saw a teacher. I saw what it was like to rise anyway, because she didn't just survive her story. She rewrote it. And if I was to borrow some words from the songwriters from the musical Hamilton, it doesn't matter how you live. What matters is who lives, who dies, and who tells your story. My mother was my first teacher. Before classrooms, before textbooks, before anyone ever told me what knowledge was supposed to look like, there was my mother sitting in that chair in her living room with a book open. There was always a book open. It was like breathing for her. She wasn't complete unless she was learning something, and from that something she was learning, she was passing it on to us. You know, from the autobiography of Malcolm X to Roots, even the words of the prophet Kahlil Gibran, our home stayed filled with voices and history and truth. She didn't have a degree. She didn't have any degrees hanging on her wall. She had a high school education at best. But don't get it twisted. This woman was full of wisdom, the type of wisdom that poured out of her, the type of wisdom that covered everything that she came in contact with. She wrote notes everywhere, affirmations on little scrap sheets of paper, thoughts that she may have had about passages that she read, written in the margins, reminders to her of the things that she gleaned from the readings that she went through. Anything she could find, she'd leave a note. Before the world even created Post-its, my mother was already leaving pieces of herself all over the place behind for us to pick them up when we came across them. I remember this one moment like it was yesterday. She was sitting there, she opened up our history book, and she looked in it on the first page, and what did she see? She saw us, Black people, in the background, small, understated, hardly even mentioned, just there, barely visible. And there was like a spark kicked up inside of her. She absolutely refused to stand for the idea that we were being taught that this was our history. She sat us down, and right there in that small living room, she said the words that changed my life forever. Our history didn't begin with slavery. Now, you know, these thoughts, they're common now. It's common knowledge to people that our history didn't begin with slavery. But I'm old enough to remember a time when this information wasn't handed to you. You had to find it. You had to seek it out and hunt for it, or be taught by someone who refused to let it go. Someone who refused to go and believe that this is where we started. She was that type of person. She taught us about kings. She taught us about queens in Africa. She taught us about the African warriors and the power of pride and the power of ownership, the love that we must have for our people. She gave us a foundation rooted in truth, not limitations. My mother was Afrocentric in every sense of the word. Not a trend, not a phase, but as a way of life. It was her way of giving to us a voice that the world did not allow us to have. She was my spark. She's the reason I love to debate. She's the reason why I try to pass this information on to my children. She's the reason why I question everything before I start learning anything. Everything I carry, everything I pass on to my children, all of that traces back to her. That small little living room, it was our classroom. It was a classroom without walls, and somehow it held the entire weight of the entire world. My mother, my first teacher, and I was her willing student. And even to this day, when she's gone, I'm still learning from her. I recognize that trying to cram down my mother's early years into small bite-sized pieces for you guys to understand who she was is really folly. It can't be done because there was just so much. But I wanted to give you a little taste of who my mother was before the disease took hold, because that taste allows you to see why it was so devastating when the sun started going down and she began to drift off into dementia. You know, it has been nearly 3 years since Mom passed, and not a day goes by that I don't wish that I could have done more or said more or provided her with better care. And the thing about that is, when we were going through this whole thing, all I could think about is that I wish I had a playbook or some sort of diagram or outline that would allow me to explain or understand what the hell was going on with my mother. So because we were in the midst of COVID when all of this started, it was extremely difficult to get doctor's appointments. Hell, for those of you who have dealt with this disease, you already know it's extremely difficult to get doctors to even provide you with a diagnosis, let alone getting an appointment just to be seen. But then you add on top of that COVID-19 and the fact that doctors' offices were just not open and the only thing that was available was video phone calls. So with all of that, I was forced to have to do research on my own to find out what was happening with Mom. And in that research, I was everywhere, pulling from every source I could think of, trying to figure everything out so that I would learn how to take care of her. And in that process, I gained a lot of information, and I want to use this particular work to help you understand what's going on with your loved one. Because chances are, if you're watching this video, you stumbled on it because someone in your life is also dealing with Alzheimer's and dementia. So in this work, we're going to go through some things, and I'm going to show you some things that are going to, in many instances, may be upsetting. They may be informative, and they may also be emotional. You're going to see some raw video of my mother in moments when she was having her emotional outburst. You're going to see some videos of us, how we went through our therapy and some of the moments where I cared for her. But before we get into that, I want to make certain we understand right out of the gate what dementia is. So that's where we're going to start. What exactly is dementia? Now, for us to understand what dementia is, I'm going to break this down for you as if it was an automobile. Let's just say for this example that your brain is the engine in your car. It's the motor in your car. And if someone came and told you you have engine failure, that engine failure, that's dementia. Dementia is the failure of the brain. Now, there are hundreds of different forms of dementia. Okay, you've got vascular dementia, frontal lobe dementia, you have Lewy body dementia, the list goes on. What Mom had was vascular dementia. So we're going to deal with that, but I need you to try to find out, if you can from the doctors, what type of dementia your loved one has, because that's going to make a difference in how you deal with the symptoms. So dementia, it is the engine. And the brain is the engine, and dementia is engine failure. Now, just like an engine in a car, it doesn't just fail. There's an underlying cause as to why the engine failed. So in many instances, engines fail because, say, you didn't put enough oil in the car, and the lack of oil in the car created the engine viscosity to build to the point where the engine locks up. Or let's just say the transmission was pulling too hard and it shot the engine. There are many underlying causes. That's what Alzheimer's is, an underlying cause. So Alzheimer's disease is an underlying cause that causes dementia. And things like what my mom had, vascular dementia, lack of oxygen and narrowing of the blood vessels causes dementia. Narrowing of blood vessels can come through heart disease, high cholesterol, diabetes, you name it. There are a lot of underlying causes that can contribute to dementia. Okay. So once you get that understanding that there is a difference between an Alzheimer's and dementia, and that there's 100 different types of dementia that a person can have, then you can start looking into forms of treatment. What do you need to do to prepare for this? Okay. I remember the day that all of this started. It was 4th of July of 2020. And I had spent the entire day out in my yard smoking a pork shoulder for my family for 4th of July. And during that process, some just didn't feel right that day. Some just didn't feel right. But one of the things that I do when things are not going right and I need a moment of silence or solace to myself is I cook. And so I was cooking up a storm that day, coleslaw, you name it. I was doing it, smoking meat, you name it. So as we began eating, I put some food aside to take to mom because we were in the midst of COVID at the time. And we were not really interacting because, they wanted us to stay away from our seniors. So after dinner, I packed mom's plate and I went on over to her house. And when I got there, I was shocked, and it was the worst thing I'd ever seen at that moment in my life. Because when I got there and went to her room, my mother was slumped over in her chair and she was breathing very shallow. Immediately, I thought, I gave her COVID because I was the only one going out of the house at the time, and I was in and out of her house shopping and bringing her groceries. But I thought that maybe she had COVID. And so I called the ambulance. They came and picked her up. And the first thing that the paramedic said is maybe she's had a heart attack. And oh my God. So she's slumped over. She's breathing very shallow. They pick her up and they start carrying her out, and she starts convulsing on the way out of the house while she's in the chair. She's convulsing, and they get her in the ambulance, and of course they're not going to move until they get her stable. So they get her over to the hospital and run COVID tests, find out she doesn't have COVID. But what had happened was, mom had COPD. And during her time sitting in that house during COVID, and since her retirement, all she did was sat in her chair, watch television, and smoke cigarettes. And that practice caused her oxygen levels to drop so low that they had to put her on a BiPAP machine. And she stayed on that BiPAP machine for probably 28 to 29 days. This machine was breathing for her, the entire time. She wasn't completely unconscious, but she wasn't completely conscious, if that makes sense. Her eyes was flickering a little bit here and there. So after about 28, 29 days, she comes off the BiPAP machine. But when she came off that machine, she wasn't right. Now, prior to this, in hindsight, I know that there was something going on. She was missing some beats, but in hindsight, I was only able to recognize that. But at that moment, something wasn't right. She wasn't as sharp. She was forgetful and, things like that. But the doctor said, it's just a simple thing. Once she gets back to her creature comforts and she gets back to her home and sees her familiar settings, she'll start coming back. Well, I brought mom home from the hospital about 30 days or so after that. So she stayed in the hospital for nearly 2 months. And when I brought her home, it didn't come back. She didn't get better. She didn't start remembering. In fact, she was getting worse. She started experiencing something called sundowning. Now, sundowning is a term that's used in dementia care, and especially with conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's and things of that nature. And what it does, it describes a pattern that persons go through where they get more confused and agitated and anxious and restless during the afternoon hours and into the evening. What makes you think Kathy's my mom?
You used to live with her. She was your mama.
She used to be my wife.
She was your mama.
Who you talking?
She got to be your wife.
Okay. And who are you to me?
I'm your grandmother.
You're my grandmother?
Mm-hmm.
And who am I?
Javid's son.
Hey. Who am I?
You're Javid's son.
Right here.
You're Javid's son.
What's my name?
My name is Javid Lawrence Jenkins.
That's my name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And who is Javid to you?
Javid is my son.
Okay. And who am I? Right here.
I know that you closer than a son because we had some things happening.
Mama?
You put that book down there?
Yeah, that's been down there, Mama.
Mm.
Who am I?
You're my son, Javid.
Thank you. All right.
I know who you belong to.
All right. They think they're lucid, but they're really not. They're starting to drift away. And the worst thing you can do when your loved one is going into a sundowning situation or whatever it is, and their dementia's kicking in and the symptoms are kicking up, is to try to correct them. Don't do that, because that's going to make things worse. Where's this idea coming from?
Why you saying my mind is getting sick?
I haven't been trying to kill you. Well, who told you that? Where'd you get that from?
When I see what you're doing, that's what they doing to these people.
That ain't me. That's a TV show you watching. I ain't on that TV show. I got your food. I got your medicine. I got your cover. I got you warm. I got you washed. What else?
I tell you to let me go back to 9538.
We are at 9538. Right here, right now. This spot that you're sitting in is 9538. You want to go to the hospital?
I'm not sick.
Okay.
I'm just confused. Like,
Okay. And that'll go away. All you got to do is just finish eating your food
I ate the food, I took the pill.
and try to calm down. That's
I
all.
ain't trying to go to no damn hospital
Okay.
because I ain't sick.
Okay. So let's try to relax, okay? Just relax. You're gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be all right.
Cause you got
Took the babies away from me. They don't come and visit like they used to.
the babies are at school, Mama.
Just like
During the day they are. And plus it's like still not safe for people to be coming around. It's still COVID. Remember the COVID?
I saw people at the clinic today. I'm gonna take the medicine.
You may recognize this because when your loved one starts all of a sudden getting agitated more in the evening, more restless, getting up, walking around a lot, pay attention to that, because that's one of the early signs that something's going on. And this is what started happening with Mom. She started experiencing sundowning. And when she started experiencing that sundowning, that's when we started having a lot of our confrontations, because I wasn't recognizing that something was going on with her right away. And I did one of the most dangerous things you can do with a person suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's disease, is I began to question her reality. Okay. It's okay, baby.
Oh Lord.
I know.
No, they help I know. Well,
It's okay. Babies are at school.
well, what happened to me?
You're right here. You're sitting here with me right now. You want to drink this coffee I got for you?
Yeah.
Okay, it's right there.
That's the hard time.
Mama, who am I?
You're supposed to be my husband.
No, what's my name?
Your name is Javid Jenkins.
No, look at me. Who am I?
Gerald Jenkins.
No, look at my face.
You still Gerald Jenkins.
No, ma'am, look at me again.
Who do you think you are?
I'm Javid. I'm your baby.
So why
Mama.
would a baby take advantage of his mama?
Mama,
No.
look at me.
Step on this paper so I can get it off of my foot.
Look at me. Who am I?
I married you for better or for worse.
Mom,
What is it?
look at my face. Who am I? Touch my face.
I don't want to.
Look at me.
I don't want to touch you. I don't even want to look at you.
Mama,
You brought me over way out here and
Mama.
treated me like shit.
you're at 95th and Princeton.
No, this ain't 95th and Princeton.
Yes, it is.
Where is it at?
9538, where you were born and raised.
This over here should be,
This is where you raised me. Mama, I'm not Gerald.
you just took advantage of a situation.
That's not me, Mama. Mama, look at me. So when you're dealing with someone with dementia, right? It is extremely hard while you're in the moment to recognize the signs. In fact, we normally don't get it and realize something is going on until it's too late, until they have completely gotten to the point where you now know something is wrong. But there are always early warning signs. There are always symptoms that you will see early on that will tip you off that something is going on. Now, in hindsight, looking back over these things, I realized that these were Mom's early warning signs. But in the moment, I didn't catch it. And many of you won't catch it either. Or you won't catch it, or you don't want to catch it, because, come on, let's be serious. Who wants to admit that their first teacher, their strongest defender, their mother, their father is slipping away? Nobody wants to admit that. Nobody wants to come to grips with the idea that I am getting ready to have to start raising my parent. The roles are getting ready to switch. I'm going to eventually have to feed my mother. I'm going to eventually have to change my mother. Nobody wants to admit that. So when those early warning signs are popping up, it is kind of folly to ignore them, but it's kind of what we do as a coping mechanism for what's going on. Because let's face it, when dementia starts happening to your parent, it becomes a devastating situation to you. So Mom's early warning signs were, it started, the very first thing that I noticed was, in looking back, is one day she sent me a text message asking me to come over and check on her bank accounts because something was wrong with her bank accounts. And even in the text message, I should have known something wasn't right because the words were all jumbled up. And when I got over there, I started looking at her bank accounts and I noticed that she had begun to pay all of her bills twice. She had paid her insurance twice. She had paid her mortgage twice, paid her light and gas twice. So she was doubling up on her bills, and she had been doing that for a few months. And because she was doing it that way, you know, these utilities and stuff, they don't send no money back. They just apply it to the account. So she had drained her account down to negative. She was in the rears. And the only way she knew she was unable to write more checks is because they started sending checks back to her because they began to bounce. So she was about 400 and some change in the rears, about in the negative. Something's not right. She's never messed up her money like this. And so we had to figure out what was going on. And when I saw that she had been writing all of these double checks, you know, I was like, okay, Mom, I don't know what you're doing, but it's okay. We got it straightened out and we moved on. But then the symptoms started getting worse. And the next thing that I noticed was her shopping list. again, because we were in COVID, she wasn't going out shopping. In fact, I was shopping for her before COVID because, her legs would get to the point where she couldn't walk around a lot. And so it was just easier for me to take her shopping list, and go and get the food. And mom would write 25 items down on her shopping list. And I started noticing on the list that she would be doubling up on items. So she would say, get spinach, and she put 5 or 6 other things down, and she put spinach again, and then 5 or 6 other things, and spinach again. And there were several items on her list that was doubled up. And as I started going through her list, I started crossing out the duplicates, and then I'd bring her things to her. And we would get into the biggest knockdown, drag out fights because she felt like I wasn't paying attention to her needs. And I'm like, Mom, you got double items on this thing. You gave me 25 items and only 12 of them are, non-duplicate items. And we would fight about it. And that's one of the things that happens early on in dementia, because your loved one begins to get confused about things. And because you're not paying attention to it, you all begin to fight because we try to correct them. You're learning things that you didn't have to learn before. You're learning that, now I have to become the parent. Now I have to embrace this new portion of our relationship. Now I have to be the one that avoids their triggers. And let me tell you something. You've heard the statement, I'm not walking on eggshells around you. If you get a loved one with dementia and Alzheimer's, that very first few stages, you are going to have to learn to walk on eggshells. I don't care what your temper is like. I don't care what your mentality is like. I ain't standing for this. No, you're going to have to learn to walk on eggshells around that person, because one of the worst things you can do is start stepping on their triggers. We want to make certain that we learn to avoid their triggers, but at the same time, in learning to avoid their triggers, we have to also learn not to question their reality. See, because their reality is going to take them in a place where they have been before. It's like a time machine. It's going to take them back to a time that they lived in their life, and they're going to relive moments with you. And if you begin questioning their reality and doubting what they're saying, that is stepping on a trigger. That's stepping on a landmine. So with my mother, she would go back to traumatic situations. Mom had several instances of trauma in her life, going all the way back to her birth, which you saw, to her marriage, and you saw how that played out. But also with her sons. I am the youngest of 4 boys. And unfortunately, my mother lost 3 of her sons to tragic deaths. And she would go back to those moments and relive them. Whereas she learned to encapsulate those moments and lock them in her mind and not think about them and not go to therapy for them and just kind of block it out and just keep moving on. She learned to do that. But when dementia started taking hold, those locks and those gates that she set up started opening. And as they opened, those traumatic moments will start flooding out. And I, as her caregiver, had to learn to not trigger those memories, but I also had to learn to navigate those memories when they came out. Just as you saw in that last video, she would always confuse me for her first husband, Gerald, all the time. I don't look nothing like Gerald. I don't sound like Gerald. I don't walk or talk like Gerald, but she would always confuse me with him. So what I learned is that in those moments, I had to play the role. As frustrating as it was for me, I had to learn to play the role of Gerald and slowly and calmly talk her through the situation.
What you think about you staying with your wife? What you think about you staying with me?
I'm over here. It's okay. She know I'm over here. When I go back home, and then I come back over here.
You got 2 wives.
I got 2 wives. Ooh. Oh, so you my wife? I guess so. You more like my baby than you my wife.
Yeah. wife longer than she had.
Uh-oh. I'm clean.
Are you clean?
Are you? I'm asking you got them clean. Okay.
Like I say, I don't know how.
Whether it was me apologizing for something Gerald did and it triggered her to the point that she's upset about it, or whether it was just me kind of playing along with it, saying, okay, I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to take you here. I'm going to take you there. Just role play the situation with your loved one so that it gets them out of that traumatic state, but also it's not stepping on their triggers. Because the moment I start arguing with her, telling her I'm not Gerald and, you got to look at me, mama, and touch my face and all this kind of stuff, she gets madder and madder because she thinks Gerald is pulling one over on her. But it gets deeper because when she started mistaking me for my brothers, and I had to learn to play the role of my brothers for my mom, that part was extremely hard for me because if you read my book, you know the traumatic relationship that I had with all of my brothers. And it's not easy to pretend to be the monster that it's not easy to pretend to be the monster that haunted you so that you can give your mother some peace and calm. And I had to learn how to do that. I had to learn how to be that so that she could be okay. So this part of the video is about you avoiding their triggers, whatever they are. It could be a television show, it could be a color, it could be a smell, it could be a sound. Be mindful of those things and try to keep them away from your loved one. We are at the point in this situation where the roles have reversed. You're no longer the child. You are no longer the child. That is no longer your parent. The roles have reversed, and you have to come to grips and accept the fact that the roles are reversing. I don't know about anyone else, but for me, this was one of the hardest things to do, to accept the fact that my mother needs my help going to the bathroom.
Walk with me, mama. Walk with me. There we go. Walk with me, mama.
I'm trying to walk with you.
Walk with me. There we go. We're almost there. While we're on this breakfast journey, I want you to walk. There you go. Walk with me. Right over here. We gotta stop at the bathroom first, then we go sit down and have breakfast. You're doing good.
My mother needs my help getting washed up. And eventually my mother needs my help being fed, being changed, literally having to lay my mother down like a child and wipe her and clean her. Those were some of the hardest moments for me. But I need you to begin to understand that the roles are reversing. Mama is never coming back. Daddy is never coming back. And you have to be the mom and the dad in these moments. You have.
Okay. All right, here she come. All right. Yep, got you some food. Food. Yep.
You have to make the decisions. You have to prepare them for their day. You have to be strong in your convictions when it comes to the routine. You have to make certain that you're doing what you need to do to make sure they're okay.
know, I combed my hair today.
I see you combed your hair today. It looked good.
Y'all didn't tell me to comb it, but I combed it today.
Okay.
I'm doing all right for the little old lady.
You having your breakfast? What you eating?
Sausage.
Mm-hmm.
Pancakes.
Okay. When you find yourself in this situation, many people don't think to do this right away. And unfortunately, a lot of folks wait until it's too late to try to get this part of the situation done. But the moment you start picking up those early signs, you need to start setting yourself up for all sorts of financial and medical protections.
Document appoints someone your mother trusts to handle her finances if she can't. Paying bills, managing her bank accounts, even speaking with the insurance company. It only takes effect if she's unable to do those things herself.
While your mom or your dad is lucid, you need to have the conversation with them about medical power of attorney, financial power of attorney, as well as whether or not they want to be resuscitated. So a DNR, do not resuscitate, or resuscitate. You need to have all of that in place, because when they go and they're in the hospital and they can't think for themselves, then you find yourself in a situation where now you got to go to court and you got to get them declared incompetent and you got to get guardianship and all of that. You can avoid all of that by taking mom or dad to an attorney while they're lucid and have their estate planning done. Go to your attorney and say you want the estate planning done, you want a power of attorney. But you don't want to just have medical power of attorney, because the hospital caseworker can set that up for you if mom, is incapacitated in the hospital. But you also need medical power of attorney, you need financial power of attorney, and you also need the DNR, the do not resuscitate, if that's their wishes.
Mr. Jenkins, this section outlines what medical staff can and cannot do if your mother stops breathing. It's written in plain language, but I can walk you through any part of it. Here, just above the line, is where you sign as her authorized agent.
Because you got to be able to make decisions on the fly. And if you don't have those documentations and those rights, you can't make those decisions on the fly. And if you call mom's mortgage company and they're going to say, well, we can't talk to you unless Ms. Jenkins say it's okay. Ms. Jenkins ain't about to give you no information. She's like, nah, I ain't telling that mortgage. You can't talk to my mortgage company. Now you're fighting with them about that. So you got to get all of that in place while they're lucid, okay? When they're having those good moments, you get them documented together, have them sign in front of the attorney. Now, once you have that information, you can file it, send it to all of their bills and their banks and all that kind of stuff, so they know that you're on file as the medical and financial power of attorney, and you make all decisions for their situation. Get that in place. I cannot stress that enough. If you don't have that in place, you are putting yourself in a situation where you're going to be dealing with a whole lot of headaches whilst trying to care for your loved one. Because I'm telling you, these banks, these bill collectors, they ain't talking to you. They're not going to give you no information, and they're not going to work out nothing for you on your parents' behalf unless you got the right documents in place. So do yourself a favor. The moment you start seeing those early signs, have a conversation with mom or dad and be like, listen, and please don't say, you're starting to slip, we need to get this together. No, don't do that. Go talk to them calmly and say, hey, we're all getting to the point where we're trying to get things in order. I'm getting my affairs in order, and I want to get your affairs in order as well. What I'd like to get done is this medical power of attorney. So just in case something happens, I have the ability to deal with things for you without having to jump through too many hoops. Get all of that stuff done. Put yourself on their bank accounts. Put yourself on everything so that you can move properly without having to go through too many hoops, okay? Now, I'm going to suggest that you reach out to a family attorney, a family law attorney. If you don't have one, I can suggest one for you if you live in Illinois, but they're all over the place. Just get someone you trust, someone that's going to take care of your business properly for you, and that way you can protect your mom or your dad from any problems that may arise because they're getting into these situations. Because also, I forgot to mention this, sometimes while they're going in and out and they still got a phone in their house, they'll call up and get themselves locked into all kinds of, nonsense because they didn't realize what they were doing. Now You made an agreement over the phone with a company and gave them your routing and account number. You saw something on TV, you bought it, and mom done paid for all of this stuff, and you go looking at the bank account. Now, what the hell is a timeshare? When'd you get a timeshare? So make sure get all that stuff in order so you don't have to deal with these things. Okay. All right, you ready to play this game? Okay, so we got cups here, right? How many? Okay, now we got cups, and we got tops. Okay, cups and tops. Got it? One. There you go. Okay. All right. So now how many got? Okay. So what I want you to do is push one top forward. Okay, good. Give me a cup and a top. Okay. All right. Take two tops back. Okay, good. Take the cup back and give me a top. There we go. Okay. Give me two cups, two tops. Good. Two cups, one top. Okay. Sure can. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let me have you take one top. One top. Okay, I'll take one cup. Okay, let's see, can you put the top on the cup? Make it clip. What? Okay. All right, take a look. No. Okay. All right. I want you to make them all look like this. Make them all look like that. Good. Doing this one fast today. Okay. Now, last thing. I want you to set them up like I set them up at the very beginning. Just like I had them set up at the very beginning. Okay, think hard.
Like this, like this, like this, and like this.
How many was it?
I didn't even count.
Yeah, you did. Remember, it was 4. And you told me to make sure I put another one out because we didn't have enough tops?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So remember, let's put them all back out like we had them. So remember, they were spread out. Try to remember how they were set up. Can't get it? Okay, I'm going to help you. So, cups were upside down, remember? And then the top was upside down next to it. So, let me see you do that. No, you try to eat. All right, you ready? You're just gonna pull it lightly. You're not gonna pull it hard. Your love they shine like the morning lights. Anytime I see you, I they lose my breath. I'm on your beauty feedback, man, forget. I'm only trying to sweet me for body. I'm on top, do I go love you, no be small. Baby, now you there for my heart. Well, you said that for me to tell you when you start acting like somebody. So, you ain't acting like somebody. And I appreciate it. No, you're okay. How you feel? This will feel good.
Cause some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all.
Between the toes, you feel all of this?
If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby, and some people want diamond rings, some just want everything.
So you bring it up. There you go.
But everything
nice and smooth.
means, it means
keep going. Keep going.
Nothing, baby.
A little more. Okay, got it.
If I ain't got you.
All right. How's it taste?
Now you can make my world get bright. Your love they shine like the morning light. Anytime I see you, I they lose my breath. I'm on your beauty feet, make man forget. I'm only trying to sweet me for body. I'm on top do I go love you, no be small. Baby, now you.
As mom and dad began to disappear, life changes for you. But not only that, you began losing history. You began losing their stories. You began losing recipes. You began losing oral history. That was part of the reason why I started recording Mom when I realized what was going on. I wanted to capture her voice. I wanted to try to capture her laugh. I needed to get her stories. I needed to get as much documented as I could before she got to the point where she couldn't recall any of this stuff. And I encourage you to do the same. The moment you realize mom or dad is starting to show some early onset, pull your camera out and start recording every little thing, even if it's just little conversations, just record. And you will be amazed at what it will do for your healing later on in life if you can go back and look at mom or dad in these happy moments. Every year on my birthday, after mom has been gone, I can go back to this video. Hey, sugar. Hey, sugar. You know what today is?
September.
Nope. August. August 23rd. What day is that?
My birthday.
Whose birthday is August 23rd?
Right.
No, not yours. Yours is September 12th. Nope. August 23rd. 1971. Whose birthday? Who's born on August 23rd, 71? Was it me?
Yeah.
It was my birthday? Garfield Park Hospital? Yeah. Today's my birthday, mama.
Happy birthday, Dad.
You want to sing me happy birthday?
Yeah, you got some stuff to clean I'm happy with?
Yeah. I'm cleaned up already. I'm going to let you sing me happy birthday, then I'm going to go to work. You ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Javid. Is you crying?
No.
Why you sound like it?
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead. Happy birthday. Thank you. Every year on her birthday, after mom has been gone, I can go back to this video. All right, here we go. Come on in, baby.
You fix that hair?
Yeah, your hair is the best I could do.
All right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hey, it's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
How many are you today, you know?
I don't know. since I done got all of these different, what you call them? What is all that?
It's your birthday.
If I just want to laugh because my mother had a very quirky sense of humor, I can go to this video.
About the sugar and the grits? You said what about the sugar on the grits?
You can say don't look that crazy.
How long you been eating sugar on your grits?
Since I've been eating grits. What you gonna do with grits without sugar?
See, right.
I can't encourage you enough. Start recording those memories because it's important. It's very important. You need a good support system when you're going through this process because you're going to need to vent. You're going to need to fall down on your shield. You're going to need to come home and just kind of not answer any questions and not move. You're going to need a support system. When you're going through this, start setting up your support system now. Don't wait till later to start trying to get things in order. I need you to do this and I need you to do that, because a lot of y'all are going to go through this by yourself. Family members are not going to help you like you think they will. They may do a few days or a few weeks, but once it starts getting to the nitty gritty and you start caring for that person for years and years on end, and the doctor tells you, hey, your mama might outlive you because her heart is way healthier than her mind. A lot of people can't take that. A lot of people can't deal with that. And a lot of people are going to run and say, hey, you got it. Call me if you need help, but never show up. So build yourself a real support system, people you can talk to. And lots of times that's all it is. Somebody you can talk to, somebody you can reach out and call and just vent. Get yourself a program. One of the things, unfortunately, that I didn't do when I was doing this for mom, and I'm trying to advise it to you because I don't want you to go down the pitfalls that I went down, is I need you to try to take care of you. Schedule yourself at least a couple of days a week where you can peel away and do something for yourself. You got to do that. I let myself gain weight. I let myself get depressed. I let myself get just overwhelmed with it because I completely zoned out and focused on nothing but dealing with mom. Nothing else mattered. I was a zombie the entire time. I would get up, go take care of mom, and come back, and I would just keep moving because mom needed me. And I didn't have this type of material that I'm giving you to help get through. Make yourself a program. Stick to it. Take care of you while you're taking care of them.
Go way down.
As you're going through this process, allow yourself to grieve the loss of your loved one now. Remember, they're not coming back. If you allow yourself the grace to grieve properly for their loss, when they do go, it's going to make it a little bit easier for you to deal with. It's never going to be completely easy, but it's going to make it a little bit easier for you to deal with if you've already mourned them and gone through your process of grief. Grief is different for everyone, and it's going to hit hard when they do disappear, when they do go. So I need you to start allowing yourself now the grace to grieve. That's important. If you're watching this on June 5th, 2026, it has been 1,096 days since mom died. I wanted to close this documentary with this poem that I wrote because I wanted to drop this on the day of her death. I hope that the information that I provided for you will help you understand your loved one's struggle with dementia, but also help you know what you need to do to prepare yourself for that journey. Honestly, it was hard. Finding a way to finish this was hard. So I chose to go off camera with it and just read you this poem.
You are the first love of my life. You are the one that taught me to give. You are the shining star that directs my path, and you showed me how to live. You corrected me when I needed it, and you pushed me along my way, which is why I'll never stop caring for you, and why I'm here to say I love you more, I love you more, I love you more than you could ever know. I love you more, I love you more, love you more than hands could ever show. I love you